Hello class 8, how are you all? So we had been studying combustion and flame. Yes, so first of all we will revise whatever we studied in a previous class. So as you can see, the first topic is combustible substance. Yes, can you see combustible substance? So what do you mean by combustible substances? Substances which burn in air. Yes, they burn in air means in the presence of air. Means you know that I have already explained that without oxygen we cannot burn anything. Am I right? So combustible substances are those which burn and they produce heat and light also. Yes, they produce heat and light also. So substances which burn in air, substances which burn in air to produce heat and light are called combustible substances. And if I talk about the example, let's see the example. Wood. Yes, wood is a combustible substance. Coal, charcoal, and kerosene, petrol, diesel, LPG. LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. Yes, LIQUIFIED. Yes, check the spelling of liquefied. CNG, compressed natural gas, and you can see the picture of wood. You can see the picture of coal, LPG gas cylinder. You can see we use LPG gas for cooking purpose, kerosene. So all these are combustible substances, and I also told you that LPG contains methane, ethane, propane, and CNG contains butane, propane. These are main gases found in LPG and CNG. Yes. Now let's move on the next point. Okay. Now next topic is combustion. Yes, let's study about combustion. So what is combustion? Combustion is a chemical process. Yes, in which what happens, in which a substance react with oxygen to produce heat is called combustion. Yes, remember kids, combustion is a chemical process. Yes, in which always heat produce. Yes, heat is compulsory. Light means glow. You can see in the picture glow. You can see heat and glow both. So sometime light is also produced, but not all the time. Remember this point. Okay. So the chemical process in which a substance react with oxygen to produce heat is called combustion. The substance which undergoes combustion is called a combustible substance. Yes, the substance which undergoes is called combustible substance. Okay. And combustible substance is also known as fuel. Combustible substance also known as fuel. Okay. Sometimes light is also produced during combustion. Yes, light can also produce during combustion, either as a flame or as a glow. Yes, mean in the form of flame. You can see flame and glow both. You can see. Can you see both flame and glow in the picture? Yes. So actually, air is necessary for it. For combustion, the main we need is gas. Which gas? Air. Yes, air is actually a mixture of gases in which oxygen is present. So main is oxygen gas mainly, because without oxygen you cannot burn anything. So what is combustion? I hope that you understood the chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to produce heat is called combustion. Now let's move on the next point. Okay, it's ignition temperature. So ignition temperature, what is ignition temperature? What is the definition of ignition temperature? The minimum temperature at which a substance catch fire. Yes, the minimum temperature at which a substance catch fire is and burns is called ignition temperature. Yes, minimum temperature. Suppose you have paper. If you burn, when will it burn? At a fixed temperature. Yes. Suppose if you want to burn a big wood, it will take 1 minute, 2 minutes. It's not easy to burn just in a second, because They take time, they have a fixed temperature, they have a minimum temperature at which they catch the fire, they have a minimum temperature at which they catch the fire. That temperature is known as ignition temperature. So what is ignition temperature? The minimum temperature at which a substance catch fire and burns is called its ignition temperature. A substance will not catch fire and burn if the temperature is lower than its ignition temperature. Yes, if the temperature of any substance is not minimum, means lower than ignition temperature, then it will never burn. But you need to remember that different substances have different ignition temperature. Yes, different substances have different ignition temperature, and the ignition temperature of kerosene, if I talk about the ignition temperature of kerosene is less than the ignition temperature of wood. Yes, the ignition temperature of kerosene is less than the ignition temperature of wood. Okay, and I hope that you understood. Now let's move on to the next point. Okay, inflammable substances. So what are inflammable substances? Substances which have very low ignition temperature. Yes, they have very low ignition temperature, means they can easily catch fire. Yes, if the ignition temperature is too much low, then they will catch fire quickly, but the ignition temperature is so high, then it will take time to catch fire. Okay, because if I talk about wood and petrol, there is difference between wood and petrol. Yes, the ignition temperature of wood is more, the ignition temperature of petrol is less, so it has low ignition temperature. Petrol has low ignition temperature, so it will catch fire quickly. Substances which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire with a flame are called inflammable substances. Example: petrol, alcohol, LPG, CNG, etc. Okay, I hope you understood. Now let's move on the next point. You can easily understand because I have already explained. Let's go. Okay, next is condition necessary for combustion. Yes, what are the condition for burning anything? Yes, when does anything burn? When does anything burn? The condition necessary for combustion are as follows, as you can see on the screen. Yes, the condition necessary for combustion, as you can see, first is fuel. Yes, fuel. We need fuel. Without fuel, how can you burn? Fuel means combustible substance. Yes, whenever I talk about fuel means I am talking about combustible substance. Yes, am I right? So you know that combustible substance is a substances which burn in air to produce heat and light. Yes, substances which burn in air to produce heat and light are known as combustible substances. Example: wood, coal, charcoal, kerosene, petrol, diesel. Yes, am I right? So first thing we need is fuel. Second is air. Yes, because air is very important. Yes, air to supply oxygen. And the main point is to supply oxygen. Air, because of air everything burn. Next is heat. Yes, a minimum heat is required. Why? Because minimum heat is not present, then temperature will not reach to the ignition and temperature will not go beyond the ignition temperature. If it will not go, then how will combustion occur? How will combustion happen? So conditions, which are the conditions necessary for combustion? The conditions for combustion are, as you can see, fuel, air, heat. Yes, fuel, air, heat. Heat, we need heat to raise the temperature beyond ignition temperature. So a substance will not burn without one or more these conditions. Now let's move on to the next point. Now kids, next is how do we control fire? Yes, how can we control fire? The condition necessary for producing fire, as you can see on the screen. Yes, which are the condition necessary for producing fire. uh, you know, I already explained, but I am going to explain again. The condition necessary for producing fire: fuel, air, uh, heat. Heat we need to raise the temperature of fuel beyond its ignition temperature. Am I right? So how can we control fire? As you can see in the picture, first picture, look the first picture. We need a device, an equipment, which is called fire extinguisher. Yes, fire extinguisher. With the help of fire extinguisher we can control the fire. Yes, yes, even firemen also control the fire, but using water. Yes, but fire extinguisher is used to control the electrical fire. Yes, fire means fire due to electrical equipment. So a fire extinguisher, extinguisher means आग बुझाने वाला. So a fire extinguisher cuts off the supply of air. Fire extinguisher cuts off the supply of air or brings down the temperature of fuel. Yes, it bring down means decrease the temperature of fuel or both, and controls the fire. Yes, a fire extinguisher cuts off the supply of air or brings down the temperature of fuel or both, and controls the fire. Okay, how? So you usually we control the fire using water, but we also can control using a fire extinguisher. Okay, now let's go on the next point. Okay, it's next is method of controlling fire. Yes, there are different method of controlling fire. Yes, remember it, there are different method of controlling fire. So on the screen you can see first two method. First of all, we will study these two method. Okay, how to control fire. Then okay, so you can see by using water. Yes, water is the most common fire extinguisher. You know, water is the most common fire extinguisher. It can be used only when material like wood, paper are on fire. Yes, it is used for wood, paper when they are on fire. Water cannot be used if electrical equipment are on fire. Yes, it is not good idea to use water for if the fire is due to electrical equipment. Yes, water cannot be used if electrical equipment are on fire, because water conduct electricity and can harm those trying to put on fire. Yes, water conduct electricity. Water is good conductor. Water cannot be used to put out oil and petrol fire. Yes, you should not use to put out fire due to oil and petrol. Yes, water is not good idea. Okay, because they float on water and continue to burn. Yes, okay. By using carbon dioxide. Next method is by using carbon dioxide. Yes, carbon dioxide is a good idea to put out the fire of oil, petrol, electrical. Okay, carbon dioxide is the best fire extinguisher. Yes, remember it, carbon dioxide is the best fire extinguisher to put out fire caused by inflammable material like oil and petrol and electrical equipment. Yes, carbon dioxide is the best fire extinguisher to put out fire caused by inflammable material like oil and petrol and electrical equipment. Carbon dioxide is heavier than air. Yes, remember it is heavy than air. Okay, and it covers the fire and cut off the supply of oxygen. Yes, it covers the fire and cut off the supply of oxygen and put out the fire. Okay, carbon dioxide is stored at a high pressure as liquid cylinders. Chemicals like sodium bicarbonate, soda, potassium bicarbonate produce carbon dioxide near the fire. Yes, carbon dioxide is stored at a high pressure. Yes, it is always stored at a high pressure in the form of liquid in the cylinder. When we apply high pressure, then gas convert into liquid. Chemicals like sodium bicarbonate means baking soda, potassium bicarbonate, yes, they produce carbon dioxide near the fire. So we can use water, we can use carbon dioxide, we can use sodium bicarbonate, and we can use potassium bicarbonate because they also produce sodium bicarbonate and potassium bicarbonate also produce carbon dioxide. Okay, now let's move on to the next point. kids, you know the meaning of combustion. What is combustion? The chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to produce heat. Yes, the chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to produce heat is known as combustion. And now let's see the different types of combustion. As you can see on the screen, types of combustion, there are mainly three type of combustion. Yes, rapid combustion, spontaneous combustion, explosion combustion. Rapid combustion, spontaneous combustion, explosion. Okay, rapid combustion. Yes, what is rapid combustion? Rapid combustion is a combustion in which a substance burns rapidly and produce heat and light with the help of external heat. Yes, kids, this is a combustion in which when a substance react, when a substance burn, it burn rapidly. Yes, and produce heat and light with the help of external heat like matchstick. Okay, so rapid combustion is combustion in which a substance burn rapidly. Yes, substance will burn fast, very fast. It will not take a second only. Like burning of LPG. Yes, LPG, petrol, diesel, kerosene, they do rapid combustion. Spontaneous combustion. Spontaneous combustion is a combustion in which a substance burns spontaneously and produce heat light with the help of external heat. Yes, in spontaneously combustion means a combustion in which substance burns spontaneously. Yes, it will not take also too much time. Okay, and produce heat and light, but without any help of external heat. Yes, we no need external heat. Okay, it okay, it happens spontaneously, maybe automatically. Okay, phosphorus burns spontaneously at room temperature. Yes, so they can occur automatically. Okay, for example, phosphorus. Next is explosion. So explosion is a combustion in which a substance burns suddenly and produce heat. Yes, it is a combustion in which what happens? This burns suddenly and produce heat, light and sound with the help of heat or pressure. Okay, so what is explosion? Explosion is a combustion in which what happens? A substance burns suddenly. Yes, a substance burns suddenly and produce heat and light and sound also. Yes, heat, sound, light, all three things produced during explosion. Yes, bombardment with the help of heat or pressure it happens. Example, you can see explosion of crackers on applying heat or pressure. Yes, you know when crackers explode, then light produce, heat produce, and sound also produce. This is explosion. Okay, so there are three type of combustion: rapid combustion, spontaneous combustion, explosion. Okay, now let's move on the next point. Okay, now we will study about flame. Yes, so you can see the picture: kerosene burning, wax burning, coal burning, charcoal burning. They all release flame. Yes, so what is flame? What do you mean by flame? So flame is a area. Flame is that area of combustion of a combustible substance. Yes, it is the area of combustible substance. What do you mean by combustible substance? Yes, substance which burn in air to produce heat and light. Substance which burn in air to produce heat and light are called combustible substance. So flame. Flame is the zone of combustion of a combustible substance. Yes, flame is the area that of combustion. Yes. So substances which vaporize during burning produce flame. Yes. So whenever a substance vaporizes, that time it produces flame. Yes. Always remember. For example, wax. You know when wax burn, it starts vaporizing also. Yeah. That's why it is producing flame. Kerosene also happen with kerosene when it vaporizes. Petrol, yes, also happen with petrol. Diesel, yes, all these are correct examples. Substance which do not vaporize during burning do not produce flame. Yes, but there are some fixed substances which do not produce flame. Yes, they vaporize. They do because they do not vaporize. Yes, some substances which do not vaporize, they do not produce flame. Yes, Example, coal and charcoal. You can see the picture of coal. Coal is producing heat, but it is not producing flame. Charcoal is producing heat, but it is not producing flame, because they are not vaporizing, because they are in the form of solid. They cannot melt. Okay, but kerosene and wax, they vaporize, that's why they produce flame. Now let's move on the next point. Okay kids, now let's see the structure of flame. Yes, now let's talk about the structure of flame. Okay, so as you can see the picture of candle, can you see? So as I already explained you that when a substance burn, when a substance vaporize, that time it produce flame, otherwise it does not produce flame. So you can see the candle, the upper part, look the top part is the hottest part. Yes, it is also known as outer zone, hottest part, outer zone. Okay, which is in blue color. Okay, so we can divide the flame into three categories: outer zone, middle zone and inner zone. Outer zone, middle zone and inner zone. Outer zone is known as hottest part, middle zone is known as also moderately hot, and inner zone is known as least hot. Okay, so outer zone is in blue color. Okay, it is a non-luminous zone. Complete combustion occur here because it is most hottest part. Middle zone is in yellow color. Yes, it is a luminous zone, but partial combustion occur here. And if we talk about the last zone, the bottom, it is known as inner zone, where it is in black color and unburnt wax vaporize is found here. Yes, unburnt wax vaporize is found here. Okay, so the topmost part is outer zone, which is in blue color, middle zone in yellow color, inner zone in black color. Okay, outer zone is the most hottest part, middle zone is the moderately hot, and inner zone is least hot. Now let's move on the next point. Okay, so I showed you the structure of candle flame. Yes, I showed you the structure of candle flame. Let's write it. Let's write the structure of candle flame. So first of all, write the heading, structure of candle flame. Okay, and a candle flame has three main zone. Yes, a candle flame has three main zone. They are outer zone, middle zone, inner zone. Yes, and in the outer zone, complete combustion of the fuel take place, and color of the flame is blue, and is the hottest part of the flame. It is the non-luminous part of the flame. Yes, remember kids, in outer zone what happens? Complete combustion of fuel take place, and what is the color? It is the color of the flame is blue. And is it hottest or not? Yes, it is the most hottest part of the flame. It is non-luminous part of the flame. And if we talk about middle zone, the partial combustion of fuel take place in, and color of the flame is yellow and is moderately hot of the flame. It is the luminous part of the flame. Yes, remember here, middle zone is also a luminous part, but it is partially hot, moderately hot. Okay, and partially combustion of fuel take place, and the color, if I talk about the color of the flame, is yellow. And the inner zone, let's talk about the inner zone. There are unburnt vapor of the fuel, and the color is black and is least hot part. Yes, inner zone is the non-luminous part, and there are unburnt vapor are found here, unburnt vapor of fuel. And if I talk about the color is black. Yes, and it is the least hot part. Yes, the outer zone is the most hottest part, middle zone is partially, and inner zone is least. Now let's go on the next point. Okay, it's now let's talk about the types of fuel. Yes, how many type of fuel are found? Actually, there are mainly three type of fuel are found. Yes, can you see the picture? Look the picture. Look the picture. First picture is wood. Can you see wood? Yes. So what is wood? Is wood solid, liquid or gas? Yes. Definitely wood is a solid. Yes. So we can say wood is a fuel. We know that wood is a combustible substance. So we can say wood is a solid fuel. Wood is a solid fuel. And in next picture, look the next picture. You can see a burning equipment in which we feel kerosene. So what is kerosene? Kerosene is a solid, liquid or gas? It is liquid. So we can say kerosene is a liquid fuel. In auto, what do we feel in auto? We feel in auto CNG. What is CNG? CNG, compressed natural gas. It is CNG is a gas. So we can say CNG is a gaseous fuel. Look the picture of charcoal. Yes, charcoal. Is it solid, liquid or gas? Yeah, it is in the solid form. So we can say charcoal is a solid fuel. You can see the car, a man is filling petrol. So petrol is a liquid fuel. And you can see the last picture of a cylinder in which LPG is filled. So LPG is a gas. Am I right? LPG is a gas, gaseous fuel. So there are three main type of fuel. Yes, there are main three type of fuel: solid fuel, liquid fuel, and gaseous fuel. Okay, there are three type of fuel: solid fuel, liquid fuel, and gaseous fuel. Solid fuel, you can see the example of solid fuel: wood, coal, charcoal. Example of liquid fuel: kerosene, petrol, diesel. And example of gaseous fuel are CNG, LPG, biogas, hydrogen gas. Now let's move on the next point. Okay, now let's talk about the characteristic of good fuel. Yes, what are the good properties of fuel? What are the properties of fuel? Yes. So the main characteristic of a good fuel are, as you can see on the screen. Yes, the main characteristic. First characteristic is readily available. Yes, it should be readily available. Yes, if it is not available at the same time, then you can say it is not bad fuel. Then you can say it is not good fuel. It should be cheap. Yes, if it is expensive, then it is, petrol and diesel nowadays it is going too much expensive. But in book we study that a good fuel is a readily available. It should be cheap. It means they are not cheap. They are not good fuel. Think yourself. Why petrol and diesel are so expensive nowadays in India, but in outer country they are so cheaper? Think and find answer yourself. Next is it is easy to store and transport. Yes, it should be easily store and transport. Burns at a moderate rate. It should be burns at a moderate rate. And produce a large amount of heat. Yes, heat should be produced more and more. If heat is less, then we can say it is bad fuel. Does not leave behind any undesirable substance. Yes, residue should not be left. Does not cause pollution. Yes, if it is, when you burn wood, what happens? Causes air pollution. When you burn petrol, diesel, what happens? If they release carbon dioxide. But LPG and CNG do not cause too much pollution, so they are good fuel. They are good fuel. Am I right? Now I hope that you understood characteristic of good fuel: readily available, cheap, easy to store, transport, burn at moderate rate, produce large amount of heat, does not leave behind any undesirable substance, does not cause pollution. Now let's move on to the next point. Okay, so now let's talk about calorific value. Calorific value. So, what is the meaning of calorific value? Calorific value actually shows the amount of heat energy. When anything burns, heat energy released. Yes, heat is produced. We are studying that what is combustion process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to produce heat. Heat produced. And what is heat? Heat is the form of energy. It means heat energy is producing. When something burn, always heat energy produce. Yes, am I right? But okay, so what is calorific value of fuel? What is the meaning of calorific value? Calorific value of a fuel is the amount of heat energy produced on a complete combustion of 1 kilogram of fuel. Yes, suppose you have 1 kilogram fuel, maybe petrol, wood. Suppose you have 1 kilogram wood. Suppose you have 1 kilogram wood. If you are burning, so when you burn 1 kilogram of fuel, the amount of heat which produce, the amount in a number, in digit, it is known as calorific value of that fuel. You can see the calorific value of fuel is expressed in kilojoule per kilogram. Yes, remember kids, the calorific value of fuel is expressed in kilojoule per kilogram. So you can see the list of calorific value of some substances. You can see the list of calorific value of some substances in on the screen in kilojoule per kilogram. You can see the first point is cow dung cake. Cow dung cake produce 6,000 to 8,000 calorific value, means heat energy. Wood is 17,000 to 22,000. Coal 25,000 to 33,000. Then petrol, diesel, and the kerosene, they have 45,000. Then hydrogen has 1,50,000. Yes, it means hydrogen has the highest calorific value. Hydrogen has the highest calorific value, and cow dung cake has the lowest calorific value. Okay, but methane, LPG, CNG, they has moderate calorific value. Okay, I hope you understood. Okay, now let's move on the next point. Okay, it's now let's study the harmful effects on the environment due to burning of fuel. Yes, what happens? What are the harmful effects when you burn something? Yes, that is old topic. You are so intelligent and smart student, so you can easily understand this topic. That what are the harms? Yes. So as you can see on the screen, point number 1. Fuels like solid, coal, petroleum release unburned carbon particle which causes respiratory disease like asthma. Yes, you know, fuels, wood, coal, petroleum, when you burn them, they release unburned carbon particle which causes respiratory disease like asthma. Point number 2. Incomplete combustion of fuel release carbon monoxide gas which is very poisonous gas which can cause death. Yes, carbon monoxide is very poisonous gas. Yes, it causes death also. It may cause death because when if you are burning something, it is not completely burning, then carbon monoxide release like petrol, diesel. Okay. Point number 3. Burning of most fuel release carbon dioxide gas which cause rise in the temperature of atmosphere. This is called global warming. Yes, because of burning, global temperature is increasing. So it causes melting of polar ice, rise in sea level, flooding and coastal area. Yes, what is global warming? The increasing of the temperature of the earth due to carbon dioxide. The increasing of the temperature of the earth due to carbon dioxide is known as global warming. Okay. Point number 4. Burning of coal and petroleum release oxide of sulfur and nitrogen which dissolve in air, water and forms acid rain. It is harmful for crops, soil damage, building. Yes, when you burn coal, petrol, then sulfur and nitrogen release. When they mix in rainwater, then it becomes acidic. So we call it acid rain. So they are harmful. Acid rain is very harmful for crops. Yes, they damage the building. I hope you understood. Now it's time to ask question from you. Let's move on the last point. Okay, it's time to ask question from you. Question number 1. Question number 1 is explain types of combustion. Yes, explain types of combustion. So we know that there are 3 types of combustion: rapid combustion, spontaneous combustion, explosion. Rapid combustion is a combustion in which a substance burns rapidly and produce heat and light. Example, burning of LPG. And spontaneous combustion is a combustion in which A substance burns spontaneously and produces heat and light without the help of external heat. Example: phosphorus burns spontaneously at room temperature. An explosion is a combustion in which a substance burns suddenly and produces heat and light and sound also with the help of heat or pressure. Example: explosion of cracker on applying heat or pressure. Question number 2. Define calorific value. So what do you mean by calorific value of fuel? Calorific value of fuel is the amount of heat energy produced on complete combustion of 1 kilogram fuel. The calorific value of fuel is expressed in kilojoule per kilogram, and you know the hydrogen has the highest calorific value, cow dung has the lowest calorific value. Question number 3. Write any two harmful effects on the environment due to burning of fuel. So what are the harmful effects of burning fuel? Point number 1. Fuel like wood, coal, petroleum, when they burn, they release unburnt carbon particle. Yes, they release unburnt carbon particle, which causes respiratory disease like asthma. Point number 2. Incomplete combustion of fuel like releasing carbon monoxide gas, which is very poisonous gas, which can cause death. Point number 3. Burning most fuel release carbon dioxide gas, which causes rise in the temperature of the atmosphere. This is called global warming. Am I right? And acid rain, burning of coal, petroleum release oxide of sulfur, oxide of nitrogen, which dissolve in rainwater and forms acid rain. And it is harmful for crops, soils, damage buildings. Am I right? Question number 4. Write the characteristic of good fuel. Yes, write the characteristic of good fuel. There are few characteristics. The main characteristic is point number 1. Readily available. Yes, good fuel should be readily available. Point number 2. Should be cheap. Yes, good fuel should be cheap. Point number 3. Easy to store and transport. Yes. And point number 4 is the burns at a moderate rate. Yes. Point number 5. They produce a large amount of it. Point number next is that does not leave behind any undesirable substances, and they don't cause pollution. Okay, the chapter is completed. Now we will meet in next class with a new chapter. Till then, bye bye.